está pasando de este lado de la finca, que hemos cortado el tallo. Anteriormente le había dicho que no podíamos dejar las flores. Al cortar el tallo sale una nueva mata. Ya ustedes pueden ver que ya pusimos abono, ahora viene riego. Esa mata va a crecer muy rápido porque tiene todas las raíces que tenía la mata anterior. Entonces va a tener un desarrollo muy rápido, en 20 días va a estar grande. Y eso es fundamental. Y vamos a tener una nueva cosecha. Una nueva cosecha acelerada.
So what's going on this side of the farm? As you can see, we already chopped the tree and we left one of the zones. Ideally, we want a zone that is near the ground. Also, they already added the fertilizer, and there is a process called aporcar. So basically, they have an equipment that has an angle, and they're putting dirt back to the tree, so the roots, they start growing. So right now, you're gonna see a really fast development of these plants, because they are eating base with all the roots from the mother tree. This is a process that we only do it once. This tobacco, when it's harvested like this, we call it Reyes, and it's basically all for filler. We only do it once. After we do this, we will grow another a plant. Basically, you want to put some beans, and he doesn't grow them for the harvesting the beans, but basically it's just to put organic matter, and naturally the beans will put a nitrogen. ¿Qué otra cosa que pone la nitrógeno?
El frijol de terciopelo.
Yeah, the terciopelo bean will add nitrogen back to the grounds, and they'll take the tractors and just mix all that to put back the organic matter into this side of the farm.
Okay, alors ici nous avons une seconde culture, donc les plantes ont été coupées, les feuilles ont été ramassées, et quand je dis les plantes ont été coupées, vraiment la tige a été coupée. Et alors on essaie de laisser un des fils, un des fameux fils qui essaie de se reproduire, juste au pied de la coupure. Et ça permet à ces plantes de grandir assez vite. La procédure est assez simple, parce qu'il faut les réenrichir un petit peu, on remet un petit peu d'engrais, et on repousse la terre en petites montagnes pour que les racines ressentent une deuxième vie, et vraiment elles projettent des feuilles assez vite. C'est des feuilles qui sont utilisées uniquement pour de la tripe. Hein, on les garde pour la tripe, les qualités de brûlure, elles sont aussi plus petites. Donc c'est vraiment des feuilles de tripe, mais très très riches, parce qu'elles grandissent sur un système de racines qui a déjà grandi, qui est déjà mûr, qui est déjà énorme, et depuis le premier jour de la feuille, vous avez un grand système de racines, tandis que dans les autres, le système de racines grandit avec les feuilles. Après ça, c'est fini. On fait ça vraiment une fois. On appelle ça du Reyes. Hein, c'est la façon dont ça fait. Parce qu'après, on plante normalement des haricots, des fèves. Et ça remet le nitrogène que la plante de tabac a sorti du sol. Donc ça, c'est la façon dont on fait l'autre. Ça se fait une seule fois. Et c'est assez rapide. Hein. Comme il dit, dans 20 jours ici, on devrait pouvoir récupérer toutes les feuilles qui ont poussé.
¿Puedo hacer una pregunta?
Sí.
Por ejemplo, esta misma planta que va a crecer después de esos tallos, ¿tiene la misma calidad que la otra, la misma estructura, es usado para los mismos tabacos?
Tiene probablemente la misma característica, excepto que el nivel de nicotina es muy alto.
Muy alto en este caso.
Sí.
Más alto.
Porque ya, fíjate, esta plantita que está aquí tiene las raíces de la mata original más la que ella va a echar cuando se haga esto y se moje. Entonces, todas esas raíces, yo le dije que la cantidad de raíces es la que te marca la cantidad de nicotina.
Sí.
También es genético lo de la nicotina, pero en este caso sube el nivel de nicotina.
Porque hay más raíces ahí.
Más raíces trabajando para la mata y el desarrollo también es más rápido.
Y más nicotina, más sabor, más aroma después.
Más aceites tienen, más aceites esenciales, más aroma, más sabor, más fortaleza.
Entonces son mejores, no va para el mismo tabaco, por ejemplo, la misma línea.
No, es aparte.
Otro tabaco.
Es otro tabaco.
Bueno.
¿Ok?
Gracias.
We were asked
if that tobacco, what it was used for, if it was for the same cigars and everything. Well, being the fact, what I just explained in French for those who understood, being the fact that the plant starts the life with a lot more, the rooting system is already established, and then when we push the soil to the top of it, you get a second layer of roots. So you get a lot of roots who help the plant to take the riches from the soil, and you get generally more nicotine, a more oily leaf, and this is a stronger leaf, and it definitely, it's not alike the first cropping of it, so it's not used in the same cigars at all. Donc on utilise vraiment cette procédure parce que justement elle est basée sur beaucoup plus de...
Como ustedes pueden ver, esta es la casa de curado. Esta casa de curado está hecha a imagen y semejanza de lo que se hacía en los años 1800. Ustedes pueden ver que está toda forrada de cartón porque para evitar el calor. Y internamente nosotros lo que tratamos es que el tabaco se cure con la humedad de la hoja que viene de la finca, para que las bacterias o células internas sean las que hagan el trabajo de curación. Este proceso dura aproximadamente 45 días.
This is a tobacco house. The way that we cure the tobacco here is the traditional way. As you can see, we have cartons all over. That's to preserve the humidity and the heat. It's to keep the heat out and to preserve the humidity inside. Basically, the curing process happens because of the bacteria that is inside of the leaf, and also the cells inside make these changes with the humidity inside. They start changing from green to yellow, yellow brown, basically.
Alors ici, nous sommes dans une maison de curation de tabac. Et vous voyez que les fourrés de carton pour essayer de maintenir un petit peu l'isolation au niveau de la température et de maintenir l'humidité à l'intérieur. Parce que la curation du tabac, c'est pas du tout un processus de séchage. Dans le tabac noir que nous utilisons pour faire des cigares, c'est un processus bactérien. À partir du moment où la feuille n'est plus alimentée, les bactéries commencent à changer la couleur de la feuille. Et c'est un processus qui dure plusieurs semaines, et ça dépend, il est aussi très dépendant de la température et de s'il pleut ou pas dehors.
El fresco que ustedes sienten aquí, a diferencia de afuera, es la diferencia de que aquí hay humedad atrapada. ¿Estamos de acuerdo? Y esa humedad la están dando las hojas. Por eso le dije que teníamos un año difícil de curación, porque en realidad la temperatura y la cantidad de agua, la humedad relativa no está en los niveles que debe estar para la curación. Necesitamos una humedad relativa que nos varíe entre 65 y 80, y la tenemos en 60, 50 y tanto, y a veces hasta en 40. Entonces, pero nosotros permitimos que mejor se seque al natural, porque no vamos a usar nada artificial, porque es la filosofía de nuestra empresa.
The freshness that you feel inside, it is basically because of the humidity that the leaves bring with them from the fields. As we said before, we have a driest period, and usually the required humidity levels are from 65 to 80, and right now we have 60, 50, and even 40 some days. Aside from that, the philosophy of our family is that everything has to be natural, so we're trying to cure the tobacco with just the humidity that it comes from a leaf and not add anything. That's very important for us to do everything the natural way.
Alors la douce fraîcheur que vous ressentez ici, c'est vraiment dû au niveau d'humidité qui sont un peu plus hauts. Et l'humidité est produite par les feuilles. On ne rajoute pas d'humidité ici. Normalement, pour que ce processus se passe de façon uniforme, on doit compter sur une humidité de 65 à presque 80% d'humidité. Et maintenant, dû à la sécheresse, on tombe à des niveaux qui sont de 60 et même 40%, qui sont jusqu'à 40%. Mais ici, c'est la philosophie de la compagnie, on ne rajoute rien. On travaille avec, on referme la maison, on maintient le cap parce qu'on ne rajoute rien, tout doit être fait de façon naturelle. C'est la philosophie de la compagnie.
Yo voy a tomar una hoja para que ustedes vean que este tabaco cura de color totalmente oscuro y se pone más oscuro cuando le damos los procesos de fermentación.
He's gonna take a leaf to show you how dark it can become on the curing process, and it becomes even darker with the fermentation. He's showing it now.
Et il va nous montrer une feuille pour nous montrer que quand le tabac ici fait sa curation, il devient vraiment foncé. Et attention, il devient encore plus foncé quand on leur fait les processus de fermentation.
Como le dije antes, el proceso de curación es un proceso de 45 días y no la hace el hombre, la hacen las células que están dentro. No podemos permitir tampoco que el tabaco se reseque, porque si se reseca el tabaco, si se pone duro, entonces mueren las células que hacen las transformaciones de colores. Si ustedes pueden ver, del lado arriba hay una parte de tabaco. Hoy no estamos poniendo tabaco, pero mañana ya comenzamos a poner todo ese lado de tabaco para ayudar con el tabaco que entre a la humedad del que está dentro.
As he explained before, this curing process lasts about 45 days. And it is not a man-driven process. It is done just by the cells inside of the leaves. Right now we're not putting more tobacco inside of the tobacco house, but tomorrow we will. And the humidity that all those leaves bring will help with the creation process.
Alors, comme expliqué, c'est un processus qui dure à peu près 45 jours et qui est fait donc par les cellules de la plante elle-même, de la feuille elle-même. Et c'est très important, on ne peut pas la laisser sécher. Si on la laisse vraiment sécher, les cellules qui sont en train de faire ce changement de couleur meurent. Et la façon de maintenir l'humidité, c'est là, vous voyez, tout ce côté-là est vide. On va rajouter du tabac, histoire que ça refasse rentrer de l'eau ici et qu'on maintienne les niveaux d'humidité au niveau où on veut.
Tenemos 3 minutos más, tío.
No, pues, si quieren alguna pregunta.
Sí. Por ejemplo, la curación es natural.
Totalmente, 100%.
Si está muy seco, usted no añade agua al suelo, al piso, moja un poquito.
Sí, pero no en esta etapa. Tengo que esperar un poquito más que se llene la casa de tabaco.
Bueno,
puedo agregar un poco, pero muy poquito.
Muy poquito.
O pongo materia orgánica afuera, la mojo, pongo un piso de materia orgánica. Y va soltando lentamente la humedad.
Para que no se ponga duro la hoja. ¿Sí?
Exactamente.
Bueno, y si es al contrario, por ejemplo, si está muy húmedo acá, ¿cómo usted hace para bajar la humedad?
Cierro totalmente.
Cierra totalmente.
Que no entre nada.
Que
y
no entre
abro
humedad.
a mediodía.
Bueno, gracias.
Okay.
The question was, if it's too dry, what do we do? At this stage, we wouldn't add water, which we basically don't do very often. It would be on the soil and very little amount. It would be when the tobacco house is full of tobacco. But what we normally do is we have natural material that we wet outside and then we put on the floor in the middle, so it brings humidity inside. If it is too humid, what we do is that we close completely the house, we don't open it, and then we open it at noon, which is the driest time of the day.
La question c'était, oui, mais quand les températures ou l'humidité est vraiment extrême, qu'est-ce qu'on fait pour éviter que soit elle sèche, soit qu'elle soit trop humide? Alors pour éviter qu'elle sèche, c'est très rare, mais on pourrait mettre un petit peu d'eau sur le sol, mais plus normalement, on préfère prendre de la matière organique, des feuilles, n'importe, les mouiller dehors et les mettre par terre. Ça serait si ça serait trop sec. Quand ça devient trop humide, on ferme vraiment complètement la maison et on l'ouvre uniquement à midi pour permettre à l'humidité naturellement basse de l'heure du midi de sortir l'humidité qui est dans la maison.
Si tú puedes ver, los postes están forrados de plástico precisamente para si tenemos que poner humedad no se nos pudra la madera.
Sí.
¿Ok?
Sí,
Eso te contesta la pregunta.
Muchas gracias.
If you have any other questions, we have around 5 minutes for question, pictures, taking hour, and go back to the bus. So it's pretty quick.
Yo tenía
Tío.
tenía otra cuestión. ¿Qué es la diferencia entre meter el tabaco así o así?
Ah, ok. Aquel es un tabaco para picar, porque son las hojas de abajo. Aquel es tabaco de baja calidad.
Ah, mira.
The question was, why is it different the way that we're hanging tobacco here and the way we're hanging tobacco there? The tobacco that we're hanging on the other side is a tobacco that will be as filler, less quality. So we just like put them all together. For wrapper, it is the way on the right side.
Aqui é totalmente capa e aí é
Capa o banda.
capa ou banda. E sempre como filler, por exemplo, sempre daquela
filler
forma.
es así.
Ven, ponle la mano. Ven. Para que la sienta.
Mira.
¿Ves? Eso es. Ya lo otro es fermentación.
Limbo.
Depois você pode falar um pouquinho sobre as marcas que vocês produzem.
Teóricamente
Sí,
no
la
debe
fábrica,
dejar ni
la
siquiera
fábrica.
una vena
Bueno,
cuando la
gracias.
tenga.
Ah,
Sí, toma.
Sempre capa em curres. Curres são essas madeiras aqui. Sempre dessa forma. Uma de cada lado. Em curres. Curres. Isso é capa e banda. E quando é... Olha como está. Bueníssimo. Estou com o maestro aqui. Leo Reyes. Leo Reyes. Aqui é o processo de sempre uma de um lado estão costurando a folha. Passa uma de um lado, passa uma do outro, sempre costas com costas, uma para um lado, uma para o outro.
Como las mujeres cosen las hojas.
Sim. Aqui, para a capa, aqui, tá? Sempre que é curry, capa. O que não é curry é zé. Aqui já é tripa. Tripa filler. Não tem curry, não tem aquela madeira no meio. É uma com uma. Só que cola com costas para não pegar uma na outra. Mas não tem curry, tá? Aqui é tripa, que é o miolo do charuto. Dessa forma. Não tem a madeirinha lá, tá?
In the ashtray, so you have to remember the number that you left it. Here is the only place you're not allowed to smoke.
Where's the water?
Look at that amazing mold.
So, welcome to the Reyes Cigar Factory. As I explained, we're giving the tour a little bit different. So, you're starting in the aging room. First, we wanted to showcase this area. This is history for us. Here we have molds that started with my father 25 years ago, and we decided to make a wall with it. It is the same artist, René Leon, that creates all of our humidor every year for the Pro Cigar Festival. For everyone that doesn't know, my family has been in this industry for 6 generations, and 5 of them devoted completely to growing tobacco. To growing tobacco, processing, and selling. The 5th generation, my father, decided in '95 that he wanted to make cigars. He used to work for another company before, and he decided that he wanted to have a brand of his own. And he developed a beautiful factory, which was a little house in the middle of Jacagua, which is the old town. The people call it the Old Santiago. There's ruins there. It's a very beautiful place of our city. And this is a way for us to remember our early stages. As you know, not all molds are now made out of wood. They've become not practical because you don't get the perfect shape, but every single one of them has a history. This was one of them. This one was called the Bullet. We made it in '96. It was something that my father tried to create. So this is a little bit of us for you. If you want to take pictures, you can do it, and we're gonna go to our aging room. If this would be a bank, the aging room would be basically our boveda. That's where more precious things are stored. So if anyone feels a little bit dizzy, you can come out. Yeah. It's not personal. It's not personal. But it has happened in the past. Do you have any questions before we go to the aging room and I explain a little bit what we do? No?
No.
Something particular about our aging room is that we decided to bring a little bit of technology so we clean the air automatically in less of 1 minute. So we're gonna see that. Okay, let's go in.
This is the aging room.
So what cigars do
Let me
here,
go there,
some people say, I'm gonna wait for everyone to come in. Ángela, tú me avisas cuando todos hayan entrado. Okay. Faltan todavía. Hale seña para que entren. Please come inside. Don't be afraid. You can walk very freely. We're gonna hear everyone inside of here because of the air. You're reading on their name. Please come inside. Yeah, Angela. Okay, I'm gonna start. So, a lot of people say when you're aging their cigars that they're coming to their beauty sleep. Cigars don't come to the aging room to sleep, they come to work. They come to work with the humidity that we bring inside, and they come to make perfect blends. When we're making a cigar, a lot of people talk about blends and how you're blending it, but if they don't age accordingly, the cigars won't be as balanced. You wouldn't feel. A lot of people talk about strength now too, but sometimes the strength people are accustomed to know now, it's cigars that are not well aged, and you can feel that because the spicy becomes very aggressive. Instead of spiciness and strength that you feel on the bloodstream, you feel it on the palate. That's non-aged tobacco, non-aged cigars. Some people say 3 months beauty sleep. Here, every factory has its book, and I respect it because I don't keep accounting of how much they age the tobacco before rolling it. But we say that tobacco speaks to you, so we don't have a standard. After we've made various productions of the same blend, we sort of have a standard. But the first time that we're making a blend, we don't target it, oh, I'm gonna launch it at IPCPR, because you don't know when the cigar is gonna be completely ready, so it tells you. So we have tasting panels. You're gonna see, you're free to walk, that it has who made the quality, who checked the quality, who rolled it, who made the bunch, when, every single detail we have it, so we can track everything down. And for us, when we're making a tasting panel, we check everything, and we compensate the rollers and every person here for a good job done. What else about aging? I was telling you that we decided to bring a little bit of technology. We measure the humidity level of the aging room, but we also measure the level of ammonia, and depending how high the level of ammonia is, we take all the air out and we clear it and we bring fresh air. Why? Because the ammonia lingers in the environment, and otherwise, if you don't open the door and leave it open, which we don't like because it would take the humidity out, it would stay there. And we believe we've been doing this for a couple of years already, that the aging is more clean this way. It's more balanced. It allows the cigar to really bring out what we liked about the cigar when we blend it. I don't know if you know, but when you blend a cigar and you age it, it doesn't taste the same. So this is why you have to continue tasting and tasting, and when the aging is the necessary, the notes that you liked from the beginning, they start to come back. So you cannot always predict. Some people might say you can, but nowadays we have so much resource of different tobaccos from so many different regions that you're not able to say. Tobacco is a very natural product, and regards all the regulations, what they're trying to do, you cannot control tobacco. It's a natural leaf, and if you are as a purist as our family is with tobacco, you just have to let it work. It's magic, and it'll do it. You just need humidity, you just need good tobacco, good quality standards, and here they come to work to become the beautiful cigars that you've been enjoying all these days. Do you have any questions? You're free to walk. As I say, you're gonna see what cigar it is, when it was produced, the quantity on the tray. Something interesting is, you're gonna see once you go to quality, that we sort our cigars before they come to the aging room. We sort the cigars because hand manipulation to a cigar damages the wrapper, which is the most expensive material that we use, and it is also the most pressure one, and we don't want it to be broken or anything. So we sort them, and you see we divide them. If this is a box that needs 20 cigars, you'll have 20 cigars, 20 cigars, and we differentiate them putting from the head to the toe. This is a way. Huh?
What is the reason? Why don't you put the band on before they come to aging?
Okay, that's a good question. Anything that comes to the aging room has to be fumigated. Even though we keep very high standards here, and we have very preventive methods, you cannot control Mother Nature. And if I have one bug here, I have a big problem, because you're gonna receive a cigar full of holes, and that's gonna contaminate the whole box. So anything that comes to the aging room has to go to fumigation process first. And you'd say, oh, but freezing them, it's more perfect. In our book, we don't like the freezing process. Why? Because tobacco is a sponge. We're not allowed to come here with perfume. We're not allowed to touch it with creams that have all, because it absorbs everything that is on the environment. And the temperature plays a big role. Haven't you been in a very humid environment that it's raining and your cigar doesn't burn very well?
Yeah.
Have you smoked in the snow and sometimes you see how dense the smoke becomes, and sometimes it gets too dry outside? That happens when you freeze the cigar. So once it's over, it doesn't even come back to the way that it was when you package. So I like that people try the cigars the way we want people to try their cigars. And you're gonna see that in the different levels we have places to store them, so they keep the humidity consistently throughout the process. Any questions?
Do you have the minimum period of time that the cigars can stay here, like 3 months or
the least? It's 3 months. But in the years that I've been here, the blends that we've created, none of them last three months. I have 7 months. I have 7 months, 8 months, 1 year, 2 months. None of them are left here just for 3 months.
Don't you freeze cigars before selling?
I'm sorry?
Don't you freeze the cigar before selling,
No.
like 4 days?
No, that's what I was saying. I don't
Yeah.
believe in freezing at
No.
all. We make preventive process, so I've never had a complaint about bugs, ever,
Good.
from a customer.
Do you think we can lose a lot freezing the cigars at home?
That's my personal belief, yes.
Yeah.
Because you're changing the humidity. You want to smoke it at 69. How can you preserve that humidity level in such a cold environment?
Like
kinda
if you
hard.
freeze and then you come back to your humidor and
It loses oil
loses
because
all.
you're drying it with the cold.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
They're making me the signal. Anyone has a question? No? No question? Okay. So if you can please follow Angela to your next stage. Found
Who's
something
Angela?
beautiful inside? Angela, she's in the front.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I've never had aging room before. This is so much fun.
We have some troubles with the tours, but you guys made it here. So, okay. So my name is Pedro. You can see I'm gonna talk a little bit about wrappers, binders, and fillers. Okay. So just from outside, first we wet the wrappers. We have a steam room so we can apply the humidity to the leaf. Once the tobacco is humid, we strip it either with machines or by hands. So those machines, what they're doing is that they're pulling out the stem. You can come in. So basically they're pulling out the stem out of the tobacco. So then in the end you have your left side and your right side. This is because when we make cigar, we only use the half a leaf. So once it's stripped, we put it in coolers so we don't have to add humidity again, and then we bring it to the sorting department right here.
It doesn't matter on the size. You only
No. Those drums, they were made in the States for broadleaf leaves, so it will hold like a 30-inch.
tardes. Aquí es solamente para capa.
Sorting, capa y capote.
Capa y capote.
Okay, so what they're doing right now here on my right side is that they're sorting the tobaccos. So they sort the wrapper by quality and by size. You can mismanipulate a tobacco and stain the tobacco. That's why we keep it in a humid area so we don't have to add humidity directly again. And once they sort it out, we count them in 26 half a leaves. So that way we know how much tobacco we are giving to the guys. Because in the case of binders and wrappers, you have to count them. In the case of the binders, as you can see here on my left, they are stripping the tobacco by hand. We could do this with wrapper, but with the machines you get a more consistent cut. So basically, as you can see, with their hands they're able to pull out the stem, and once they pull out the stem, then they sort the tobacco by size. The same thing that we do for the wrappers, we do it for the binders as far as counting them, because it's the only way we know how much material we're giving to the guys, so they don't waste it or they are short with tobacco. Once it's counted, we put it in coolers like this. So as you can see, you can touch it. This tobacco is humid, soft, it's ready to be rolled. Yeah, this is wrapper. Touch it. Get in. So you can touch it. Why we add humidity to the wrapper? Because it needs to be flexible enough to roll on the tobacco. So then from here, we send it to the expendio department. Now let's go and see the fillers. That's pretty interesting.
Capa e... A capote ou binder eles fazem com a mão e a capa eles fazem com máquina do outro lado lá, para ter mais consistência, como ele falou bem aí. A capa é aqui, ó.
Welcome.
Okay, go there. Sorry. Essa aqui é tripa.
Okay, so filler.
Or filler.
So in the case of the filler, as you can see, the stem is partially removed already. We already do that. The filler is also more fermented than the wrapper. So once they prepare it there, they send it on belts like this thread. So what they're doing right now is that they're separating the leaf one by one, because when they do the blend, the way they know the blend is 2 leaves of this one leaf of that one, and 1 leaf and a half of that one, for example. So we have to make sure it's separated. Then once the filler is separated, we put it in the bags, and then we prepare all the fillers in a big bag. Put it in the carts, I'm sorry. We put it in a big bag, and that's how we give the filler to the tabaceiros. So I want to do a interesting, I believe it's pretty interesting exercise. A lot of people talk how all these varieties of tobacco. You can add, the difference is physically you can see the shape of the leaf, but you don't have to smoke it to know that it's a different variety of tobacco. So I have 2 examples here of 2 different varieties, Criollo 98 and Piloto Cubano. Both of them are from 2017, so the same year, same crop. So I'm gonna pass it you guys. This is first the Criollo 98. I want you guys to smell the tobacco and just keep that smell in your head. So you can pass around, and you have to get in, smell it, then well. You have to smell it. Keep that smell. Okay, keep that smell in your head. Promise you, it's gonna be interesting.
One gig in your work.
You guys smell that.
This is Criollo 98, eh?
See, this is Criollo 98. Okay? So, Criollo 98. Now, let's smell Piloto Cubano from the same year. Smell that. Is it the same? It's not the same. It's the same year, but a different variety. But you see, you guys don't have.
Very strong flavor. Hello,
Hola,
¿cómo está? ¿Todo bien?
bien, gracias a Dios.
Todo tranquilo. Mejor ahora con ustedes acá.
See the difference. You see how it smells? So as I said, there are some physical characteristics of the leaf, but also by smelling. Now something that I find really interesting is, with time, the tobacco naturally loses their oils, and they tend to get milder and milder. There are other smells that come with tobacco. So we opened that bell here. This is a Cubano leaf from 2009. So we just opened this bell today. This is a 10-year-old tobacco. You're gonna smell
2009.
how earthy the tobacco ends.
2009.
You see? You see, it loses a lot of the aroma, it loses a lot of the oils in the tobacco. That's why when we blend, we prefer to use 3 to 5 year tobacco. Once the tobacco is blended, it doesn't lose as much as it's losing in the bells. You see that? It doesn't have the sweetness, it doesn't have, you see, you see, it just has this like more earthy smell. And it's basically the oils.
More mild too.
It gets milder. Yeah, this is smoking.
More mild, no milder.
I say my border light. So a really old tobacco, it's not that it gets bad. It's just that it loses everything. And not only that, if you touch the texture, and then touch a fresher leaf, touch that. You see the content of the oils. And this is, we just opened that bell today. It just naturally happens to tobacco. That's why tobacco is really, really tricky.
Let me touch
And
this.
with time, everything changes. You see, touch this one, touch that one. You feel that, don't you feel like the oils? Like how it's still, it's not moist, it's like juicy.
But this is 2000
2017, this is 2017,
17.
that's 2009. That's 10 years. So you see the difference? Yes. That's really good for you guys to understand how the tobacco changes just in the bell with time. So once we have those cars, then we come here. Ya, está terminando. So here, basically we have all the different fillers that we use, and then El Medio here, besides from our production managers, is the only person that knows all the blends. So right now he's working 3 different tobaccos, he puts them on a bag, and they have enough filler to make 50 cigars. So we give them 52 binders, 52 wrappers, and tobacco for 50 cigars. Why is he weighting the tobacco? Because we make standards here. So for example, the blend uses 1 leaf of a certain size. He will count 50 leaves and then he will weigh them. That way he doesn't have to count them all the time. So every time we change, he does the standard. Then from here, we send it to a department and then it will go to production. So right now, you guys are going, Angela is gonna take you guys to see Patrick. So I hope you guys had a fun time and learned something.
Yeah.
I hope.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Who is for the first time here? Okay. Then I like to present quickly myself, like the rest they know it. My name is Patrick Martin, and I'm the owner of Patoro Cigars, and we are the oldest brand in the family Reyes. And we are producing now 19 years. Silencio! And what you see now in our cigar rollers, that's more than 600 years experience. Yesterday I asked everyone, she's working from the beginning with us, Semenina, and she has 22 years experience in tobacco, and she's working 22 years with us. As from the beginning is with Patoro, in every cigar roller. You see the name of him, and you see the experience. He's 40 years, 40 años, 40 years experience, and he's 13 years in the house.
40 years, 40.
Company. What I like to say, we have a lot of experience here, and what's the most important thing is I say always, which one is the best kitchen in the world? That's the kitchen of your mother, while she cooks with love. And the same thing is with the cigar. Which one is the best cigar in the world? The cigar which you like. But you feel if somebody makes a cigar with patience and love. That's the reason also my Swissness comes from the quality side. That means always less is to me better. And it's also, they are not allowed to make them more than 100 cigars in the couple 200 cigars per day. Like that, they are also motivated, and that you see how hard and how difficult it is to make a cigar. I invite you to make now by yourself once a cigar. We have time. Now we have tables, please come follow me. You can sit here. Se puede sentar allá. We can have a place here. Yes, please sit down. And there in the second row, we have also space. Also, for the person who has experience or we visit all the manufacturers, what's our difference in our manufactory? If you see the cigar press, normally a cigar goes here in the press for 20 to 30 minutes. Every cigar, Fidel, ¿dónde estás?
Cigars?
Fidelito, no está aquí.
Not cigars, they're cigars, but okay.
¿Dónde está Fidel? I enseño a there we have the two places to make cigars, if somebody likes. And then you see...
Puta madre.
No, vaffanculo, non funziona nada. And then you see after 24 hours, the cigar will be totally different compactor than a cigar after 20 minutes. What's better or not better? We say for a better grow, we leave overnight the cigar in the cigar press. That's really important.
Much more than 30 minutes.
Sorry?
Much more than 30 minutes. Like.
Exactly, but the most that is also money, is time and cost. But I think the difference, and that's so for me, it's important, and we do that for every brand. Do you have any questions on how to make cigars? Most people have thought that before. Let's look to make the cigars.
Estão colocando capa, tá? Estão colocando capa.
They press it, they put it in a mold. 24 hours in the mold, they take it out. But during the day, the day before it's processed, okay, what they're going to do is they'll take those molds, they bring it to this young lady here. What she does, she goes, this is the draw master. What she does is she weighs it, so it's consistently the same weight. She puts it in this here, which has a diaphragm inside, and it's called a draw master because it measures pressure drop. It's basically doing that, right? What she'll do, she'll go back through each mold, she'll do it, she'll return them to the pair, and then they'll do the finished process, which is to put the wrapper on. Okay? So from this stage, It goes back to the table, then it comes back over here. Most factories do this after final aging. What we do is we do color sorting first. She checks the length, the ring gauge, and the quality of the cigar, from the head to the foot and all the way between. Basically, she's looking for it to make from a 20 to 25 count box. What she's trying to do is find an even color all the way through the box. So you got 25 cigars, you want them all to look the same. So when you open the box, it looks presentable, right? And what she does here, and these are eventually will go into the aging room. As you see the feet out, that's one box of cigars. What she'll do is now she'll now make 25 more count. She'll make reversed, and so on and so on. And the Juana's been with us 18 years. She has an eagle eye. You think it looks simple. If you watch her for a moment, her going through it's very simple, right? It looks like, oh, it's just a bunch of colors, right? Oh, they all look the same. But if you actually stare at it, there's many variances. She does it so fast. Anyone want to volunteer to try to do that? Anybody want to try? Come on, Patrick. Yeah, you'll do it. You got more experience than most. But even that. Because a woman sees 23 variances of color and a man sees 16 to 18. So you're going to go as far as you go on the spectrum and she's going to catch you. Because if you put 20 cigars down, you're going to probably pick out 3. She'll pick out 5 or 6. It's hypnotic watching her too. It is. I
think it's fun.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
It's fun to pick out the color.
Yeah. And then she'll check herself. She checks it and checks it again and checks it until she's satisfied.
And if she sees some problems like the holes or...
Right, that gets separated out. Exactly. It's quality control. Good
quality
catch.
control,
Yeah.
yeah.
She's looking at the head. She's looking at the body of the cigar. Looking at the whole thing.
if there is soft spots or...
You see here? That's the face. You see how smooth that is? Right?
Yeah.
That's the back. But that will be placed in the box of cigars. Even though it looks all the same color, esa la cara.
Sí, bueno.
That's the face. Right? So she's trying to find that all the way down through. Right? So there would be the face.
Good.
Right? You're looking for the cleanest area. And you do this every day, all day long. It becomes quite monotonous. It's very important. So then this will go downstairs, which you will go to next, and it goes into the aging room. Then when it pulls out of the aging room, depending on time that we all agree upon as brand owners or whatever, like the cigar you're smoking now is my brand, Debonair Daybreak. It's an Ecuadorian shade, right? That stays 90 days minimum or more because it's a lighter shade. When you get Maduros, longer. It all depends on how us brand people want, how long you want to sit on them. You know?
Okay, good.
And then again, when they come out, she'll do this again.
Is this your brand?
This isn't my brand, no.
This is not your brand?
The one you guys got from the girl is.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Any questions?
When it's not certified there with the white.
No, it gets put to a side. If there's more than 1 or 2 or 3 in the mold, they take it back to the bunch and roller. They get discounted for the day's work. Yeah. The trick is keeping them honest. You do every one, they're going to roll it right. They don't want to lose that production, yeah?
Oh, they lose.
Yeah, if you get one mold's bad, they're like, you just waste the material, time, everything, you know?
Yeah.
You should keep it constant. So in the last couple of years, that's what we're quality. Because you want it to pull, huh? It's the most important. You can have something ugly and smoke it and it tastes good. But if it doesn't smoke, they're not going to smoke it again, you know? All right, you can go follow that way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
De empaque, anillamento.
Okay. Welcome back, bienvenue. Languages. Show hands, français. No French. Good. So this is packaging. This is the last step of what we do. So everything you've seen before, everything you've seen from the fields to the fermentation, the aging, the 218 pair of hands who touch tobacco, all their work goes bad if here they don't do their work well. So this is not just work. It looks like the least
honorable part of the cigar creation. We're putting stickers, we're putting plastics, we're putting glass. But this is as important, if not, because this is the last eyes we have on the product before it reaches the consumer. So this is important. And in a way, it's really hard. Because when you start by here, my friend Rubia here, we'll put 4,000 bands a day on a cigar. Who does it with the help of that little tape, who's super clean today, I'm impressed. If she makes a mistake of half a millimeter, you will see it on the facing of the box. If it's a very cheap cigar, probably nobody will care. But if it's a premium cigar, and that's what we try to do in this company, a variation of size is just not acceptable. And it all starts here. And you know, if she makes a mistake, it doesn't matter. We lose 2 bands, we just reband the cigar, it's not that bad. But remember one thing, this is the last of retouching cigars. So this is where a cigar is the most expensive in our chain of production. This is after aging, after manipulating, after cutting in, after color selection, after everything. It gets here, and if we have to redo our work, the more you manipulate something, the more chances you have to have an incident on the way. So our work is repetitive, yet it demands attention, and it demands an eye and a care of what she wants to do. 4,000 cigars, that would be 1 band. Then you have a particular brand who needs 2 bands. Another one needs 2 bands, a foot band, and a cedar wrapper on it. And maybe we're gonna put it in a tube. All those steps is more manipulations, and every single one of them is important because the final product will be presented the right way or the wrong way. And this is just a cigar. Then after, right there, wait, a certain Reyes is calling me, so I'm going to take the call. Oh, I missed it. Okay, when we put the cellophane, and normally I can have you guys trying to put a cellophane right here, it's super complicated. You remember when you're going at the grocery store and you're trying to put tomatoes in a bag, just opening the thing is complicated. Opening a tiny little thing, the first reflex you're going to want to have is exactly the one you have at a supermarket. Can you imagine if they were blowing on 4,000 things and then we put it in? So it's actually complicated, just that first step. But then after, you have to slide the cigar in and you have to make sure that none of the bands, I'm smoking, I lost a band. I lost a band just by having the cigar on the thing. Entering it, gliding in and not moving the band, half a millimeter, it's as well something that needs attention. It's not a mechanized movement where I'm thinking of the things. You have to think of what you're doing whole day, constantly. If you don't care, if you're not into this, it's not going to happen. You will move the cellophane, you will have the suture of the cellophane, but this is not plastic, right? This is cellulose, so it breathes. It's very important. If you try to put a cigar in plastic, and a company that shall remain nameless tried this many years ago, and the last 2 million cigars will rot right there. So it has to be cellophane, but the suit has to be aligned with the bands. The barcode has to be the right one. It has to be put on the box, otherwise it defeats the purpose. This is just the cigars, but this is a care and attention they need to keep on it, and they do it every day with thousands of cigars. Otherwise, the product is just not working. Then they have to go to the boxes. Boxes today are a completely different word. You have boxes who need a little piece of carton on the top. I'm going to go on the other side. You have boxes. Like I have a total box here, which is a great example right here. When we receive a box, of course you have quality control. You have to check that everything is printed properly, just accept it with it. But you know, the argument, this is the last chance we have for our representation to the world, for any brand we manufacture here. So this is a very serious step. And basically in our factory, she's done. Nobody can question what she says. If she says, I don't like that box, it's refused. We'll make a meeting and analyze the box on her own, but she is right 100% of the time, because that's the only way that her call is the last call. She has to look at the cigars, but look at this. We have to put this fabric around it. We have to make sure that the right guy who actually made the cigar's name isn't there, otherwise it defeats the purpose. This is a lot more work than just putting cigars in a box. And every box and every product is going to be different. It's going to have different rules. in this wonderful world we live in, we're going to have to put warnings from Israel, we're on Hebrew on the top and Arabic on the back, and you have to make sure it says "Don't bite my dog" on the both sides of the boxes, and none of us read Hebrew or Arabic. It's actually complicated, and what it demands is concentration, and repeated concentration isn't hard in itself. We can all be concentrated, but not all day doing the same things forever and with no mistakes. And that is why those girls are super important here, because in their hands is the work of the 280 pairs of hands who have done and created that cigar. This department is often overlooked, like being mechanical. I don't agree. I say this is one of the most important departments we have, because we all read with the eyes. It's the same thing with cigars. The first contact we have with the cigar is the eyes. You have to look at it, it has to look good, and you cannot make mistakes. For legal reasons, for customer reasons, you cannot sell 2 Arabics to Israel because it will bounce at the border. This simple. Okay, that one I cannot take. In Reyes I try. So basically, it's the end of the tour. You're gonna go out there, but before, I'm gonna ask everybody to write a little note there. Gilroy was there, it suffices amply. I don't like that Belgian works as well, I'll take it off. But please, just grab a pen, you have pens right there in the corner there, where Freddie is, with this guy is, and just write anything there, because that's, to us, it's a little souvenir, you guys were there.
That's funny saying of the last control, because in a box bar, very cigars, I haven't feel that picture.
He stays in his tent.